Today, we are going over 30 Roblox rivals, tips and tricks to help you become the best player in the game. These tips vary from how to master rivals movement, some game-breaking bugs, as well as some chill tips to help you outsmart your enemies. Make sure to join the Discord for Robux giveaways, buy my new shoulder pal, link is in description. And with that being said, let's get straight into tip number 1, how to instantly reload your weapon. So once you go to reload your assault rifle and you see the second pop-up, you can actually switch and cancel that animation. Now, before we even get into the game, I have a couple tips in the settings to ensure you have the best chance of winning every game. First off is that you should never use the regular crosshair. Head into the settings and set this to static. Set this bar spacing all the way down to 0 and we have a perfect little crosshair. If you haven't played Roblox in a while, you'd be pretty happy to hear that you can actually change your max FPS. Going into your settings and going here, you can actually adjust this from the default 60 to 240. Make sure to adjust this to the max for the smoothest experience. Going back into your settings and in the general tab, scrolling down a bit, you're going to want to make sure to turn off camera FOV effects and camera shade. This is just going to make sure that your camera is nice and still, and it's going to help you aim as well. Scrolling down a little bit more, if you hate getting flashbanged in this game because it's so bright, you can actually turn on accessible flashes. This is going to make the flashbangs nice and dark. In Rivals, you should never sit still. Keep moving. Always keep moving or you will get sniped. If you really want to be good at this game, you need to know how to quick melee. Using the katana and the scythe, you can do a quick melee without having to pull it out. So as you can see bottom right, we have quick melee and quick ability. What quick melee is that if I just press F, it's just going to quickly hit them. But you can actually pair this with the right click straight after to actually use the scythe's ability. Now comparing this to actually having to pull it out and then do it, it saves you a lot of time. So doing the quick melee, right clicking, and you get the dash. This is extremely helpful, and you do the exact same thing with the katana if you want to dodge their attack. Now we have a couple tips here on Arena. First one is that you can actually wall run off the ramp. This doesn't make any sound and can be pretty helpful in certain situations you may come across. On Arena, you can launch yourself into their spawn with this simple trick. Using a chainsaw and slide jumping off the edge of the ramp sends you launching into the other player's ramp. This can catch them off guard and can lead to an easy win. Tip number 9 is that if you're on Arena, you can get from mid to their spawn in one simple slide. This is all a part of the movement for this game and is another great way to catch your opponent off guard to secure that easy victory. Rivals is a game all about movement. I cannot stress this enough that you need to take advantage of the movement in this game. Without it, you'd be cooked. The basics of movement in Rivals is that you need to be using your control and your space. Control is going to put you into a slide, and then at the very end you want to use the space, and then you can just continuously do this. This is going to make sure that you're constantly on your toes and you're not going to be a sitting target. The best way to practice your movement is by hopping into the shooting range and doing things like this. You can just kind of use this pillar here and use it as a little guide. Getting those slides, practicing your aim as well. It's all extremely helpful. Movement is without a doubt your number 1 priority. Don't do the same thing every round. Switch it up a bit and make your plays unpredictable and powerful. Rivals is a game of first to 5, and after the first 2 rounds, people can get to understand how you play pretty easily. Making sure to switch your movement up and plays every couple of rounds can really benefit you in the long run. Tip number 12 is pretty funny. You can go to space by simply slide jumping into trampolines. This can make for some pretty cool plays. Choosing what map to pick at the start of the game can be the difference between winning and losing. Most of the time, people are going to want to play Arena because it makes for quick, action-packed games. But you have to make sure to familiarize yourself with every map and experiment with different playstyles. Talking about playstyles, what gun should you use? Guns that I would recommend to avoid would be the bow, RPG, shotgun, and the flamethrower. For the secondaries, I would steer clear of flare. Bro, who actually uses the flare? What? And the shorty. Utility-wise, I would avoid the fists and the knives. Now, I already see little Timmy writing his comment about how the flamethrower is the best gun in the game. This is my personal opinion, but what gun you use is completely up to you. Use whatever feels most comfortable. I personally use sniper and assault rifle as my main weapons, Uzi as my secondary, and for the movement, I switch between scythe, chainsaw, and katana. These ones depend on the map I'm on, or if I just want to switch it up like I mentioned before. Then for utility, I strictly use the medkit because I'm an absolute boss. Yeah, alright, cut that one out, that's cringe. Rivals hitboxes are pretty weird. If you draw an imaginary box around the opponent, that will be where you can hit. It's a little bit broken, but we can talk about the bow's hitboxes another day. Holy, this thing is busted. Tip number 16 is that you should totally join my Discord in the description, where I do Robux giveaways, as well as have an active community where you can chat and make some new friends to play Rivals with. If you own the medkit bundle, there is 2 ways to use it. You can either switch to it and use it fully, which regenerates 75 HP, or you can quick use it in the middle of a fight, and that will only give you 38 HP. Bit of a random number, but yeah, medkit is pretty OP. There are actually explosive barrels on both construction and dock. Be careful though. Shooting one of these bad boys enough times will deal a huge amount of damage when it breaks. While the knife is technically one of the worst melees in the game, you can actually insta-kill enemies enemies with it. Going up behind them and right clicking will deal an impressive 150 damage, therefore instantly killing them. Pretty neat trick, but not that practical in a real game. There are much better melee tools to use, such as the scythe. Big tip number 20. If you need keys so you can gamble, use them to win back your streaks after you lose to a cheater, there are actually many ways to get them for completely free. First way is by completing daily tasks that appear right here. These change daily, so you always get something fresh if you don't like the one that you have available. Second way to get keys is by redeeming some Twitter codes. On screen are a few that work right now, but always keep an eye on their Twitters for the new ones. The final way to get some free keys is by joining their group and doing these couple things. Yeah, easy keys, completely free. Number 21, don't vote for a random map, please. Like, who actually uses this feature? Just don't. For tip number 22, it's more just letting you know to take it easy. At the end of the day, this is just a Roblox game about shooting. Don't stress about losing a streak and your win rate going down. There are going to be cheaters. Yes, this is one of the guys that I came across recording this video, and pay to win people, but that's completely out of your control. Have fun with it. If you feel like your aim isn't the best and you're missing some shots you feel like you should be hitting, sometimes all it takes is to play the game more. But there are also games like this on Roblox where you can practice your aim to refine your skills. I personally use this sometimes if I feel like I'm a little bit rusty and need to warm up before playing. At the end of the day though, the only way to really improve your aim in Rivals is by actually playing the game. Tip number 24 is pretty insane. If you want to launch yourself into the sky, all you need is the trowel. Place your wall and go over to the edge. Hit a 180 flick on the corner of the wall. This will send you straight up, giving you a massive advantage in a fight. Using the trowel is extremely difficult to use, but if you somehow manage to master this thing, my prayers go out to your enemies that have to deal with that. For all the newer players that are watching and still trying to understand the game, don't ADS in situations like this. ADSing itself isn't an issue as long as the enemy is far enough away. Otherwise, you're just going to be looking like this guy. There are actually some secret inspect animations for a few of the weapons and consumables. Here's what all of them look like. On the map dock, you can actually go behind this building and do some pretty cool movement tricks. Be very careful though, because one little slip and you're swimming with the fishies. On the map station, you can actually go through the walls. This is a bug that's been in the game for a while, but still isn't patched. All you need to do is go to this part of the train carriage and slide jump into it. To get out, you just do the exact same thing. You know, it's pretty cool, bit useless, but you know, it's there if you want to use that. No scoping with the sniper isn't 100% accurate, but it is actually quite reliable. If you find yourself in a position like this where you're close enough to the enemy and want to test your luck, go for a no scope. It makes for some pretty cool clips, but make sure to use this sparingly. Tip number 30 is the most important tip of the entire video. You have to make sure that you are subscribed. I guess, sorry I had to, but on a real note, this video took me a very long time to make. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Oh, I also have a shoulder pal if you want to buy that. That's also in the description. If you guys enjoyed this video, check out one of these two. YouTube thinks that you'll absolutely love them. They're both really, really good videos. Give one of them a watch.